In this video, we're going to do a quick setup and a power check of the Bitcoin Merch Disruptor USB Solo Miner. Now, this was sent to me directly from Bitcoin Merch for the process of trialing it and showing the setup and giving a quick review and a look over. So firstly, what we'll do is we'll do an unboxing, which is just flicking it up like this. And there it is. So nothing more than the USB itself, but that's all you should need, plus a power block with a USB-A connector. So we'll firstly plug it in and see how much power it uses without the connection being set up. And then we'll set it all up and see if it changes the power usage. Now this should run at 300, I think it's 300 mega hashes. I'll have a look a bit later on and double check, but so far we're looking at 2.4 watts of power is used, 2.4, 2.5. As you can see, it does light up a lot. Got a nice colorful display. Now what we'll do is we'll do the setup process. So this is quite easy to do. Best to do it on a tablet because this one doesn't have a display. You'll have to find the IP address, which generally means you've got to go into your modem. Otherwise, if we do it through a tablet or a phone, we can easily find the IP address that way. So as you can see, I've selected the BitX. Now yours might have a different ending number, but this is the one mine has. So we'll go into it and we can see all our details. It does show the IP address there, but we can actually go into Manage Router. And then we'll select one of the browsers to go into. And this will automatically load the details of the BitX. So yep, about 300 gigahashes we can expect. Shows you a few more different bits of information. But what we'll do now is we'll be setting up the internet connection. So go into the settings here and go to network. Now we should be able to do a search. Let's see if we can find how to do the search. Otherwise, I might have to do this a bit more of a manual way. So we've got, we've done a search. So through the magnifying glass, we'll just select one of these ones to connect to. And I'll just type in the password. Give me a moment. Cool. Now hopefully we can save this and then that will reload it. Now, I'm not sure if we've got to reload it immediately because I haven't set up this one before, but it is very similar to the BitX Gamma. So let's see, we'll go into now settings to set up our pool information if we don't need to restart the device. Now, let's see. Pool settings. So I'm going to use pool public pool-io. All these numbers are stuff that you can leave because I've checked that and verified that they're the correct numbers. What you need to change though is your user. So in this spot here, up until it's got the .bitx, you have to put your own Bitcoin address if you're deciding to mine Bitcoin. Now after the .bitx, you can change that to whatever you like so you can recognize it as yours. So you might do BitX1, BitX2, whatever's necessary, but then that will differentiate this from maybe other miners you're using or other miners that other people are using. So what we'll do is I'll just update those details there. This is just going to be a minute while I get it typed in and pasted in. Cool. Now it's just going to be quicker if I do it with what is there currently because I'd have to go into all my emails to set it all up. So just go back and see if we can just load it the way it was. Pool settings. Yep, so we'll leave it the way it was just for the moment. And now we'll see if when I go into the dashboard it's giving us some hashes. So let's see. Just update the password. Now obviously I've just used the standard one for demonstration. Generally I'd type in my own. But to make everything quicker, I'll just leave it as it is. Cool, so that's saved. Now we've got to restart the device. Let's see how we go with the restarting. Now we'll leave this web page open just because it has our IP address details. Hopefully that's the same as what we need to use. There we go. Just going through it now. The other thing that might happen is it might ask us to do it the manual way and go through the modem, which I'll have to do another video for you because this one is just the quick setup process here. It does seem like it's doing something now because as you can see, the watts have increased. So we're definitely hashing now because it's at 10.2 watts. So the hashing power has increased on this device, on the Disruptor USB miner. So that means that it should be mining. Now just see quickly if we can do it the manual way and go into it as we did before, or if we'd have to do it through the modem. Now it definitely looks like we'd have to access it through the modem, which I'll show off in another video. So that's the quick way of setting up the Disruptor USB solo miner. As I said, I'll put out a quick video a bit later on where it will show how to access it through the modem. And once it can access through the modem, you'll be able to get those stats that we had before. Anyway, hopefully this has helped with the unboxing, showing up the watts and how much it uses. And then the next video will go through how to access it through the modem. That's all for today, and thanks for watching.